didn't do it how I was supposed to do it today, which is annoying, but I recognized it and I acknowledged it. So hopefully next week that doesn't happen again.
The American Declaration of Independence speaks of the idea that, and I quote, all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, unquote. The Charter of the United Nations speaks of, quote, faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, in the equal rights of men and women, and of nations large and small. Though separated by a century and a half in time, these visions are identical in spirit. To those who believe that instruments of this kind are futile, I would suggest that there are powerful lessons to be learned in the history of my own country. Our Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights expressed a lofty standard of liberty and equality, but in practice, these rights were enjoyed only by a very small segment of our people. In the years and decades that followed, those who struggled for universal suffrage, those who struggled for the abolition of slavery, those who struggled for women's rights, those who struggled for racial equality, in spite of discouragement and personal danger, drew their own inspiration from these two great documents, the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and our own Constitution. My hope and my belief is that the international covenants that I signed today can play a similar role in the advancement and the ultimate realization of human rights in the world at large. Another fucking day, and it's cold as a bitch. I've been driving for over an hour and I'm still cold. Like, the car get hot, but it ain't get hot for you. But, you know, it is what it is. It's the winter. It's still early. It's 7:30 right now. I'm about to jump on the charts. It's a short day. You know what I mean? They're honoring Jimmy Carter. So the markets are going to be closed by 9:30. Right now, not much going on. We're looking at gold and NASDAQ.
But apart from that, we chilling. I mean, freezing my fucking ass off, but it's all good.
Crazy. That spike was crazy. Oh my goodness. Is it? Damn. That was. Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Go ahead and go to a trade. Let me get greedy. Like if I was in the trade, I'll be out. It would be over. It just happens to happen. And the person that closed that position, like I gotta really talk to them. You don't be having faith in yourself. Like you constantly closing your trades before it hits a
Alright, so third day back, and today was a short day because Jimmy Carter, he passed obviously, and today was a day of mourning. The markets were closed at 9:30, so I was able to get 2 trades before that. I took two trades today, and that kind of is a result of something that I'm gonna touch on that I spoke about, I think, in the first video, that I said I want to focus on this year, which is execution. So the first trade I took was the Nasdaq. They were both Nasdaq. I took a supply on Nasdaq. I didn't really like it. I mean, it was okay. You know, it wasn't the best setup. To be honest, we haven't been getting like the best setups to start the year, which is good considering that I could have come out of this week undefeated. So, can't complain. But basically what happened was we took the supply, and during that supply, we were in profit, and then it came up back in drawdown. By the time it came back to break even, most people came out. Not most. A lot of people closed the trade. But based on what I was seeing, I was feeling like I want to see what's going to happen. Plus, I had lowered my risk, so taking the loss is not something I'm worried about. I was like, listen, if it loses, it loses. I'm not tripping. I entered the trade. I'm committed to it. I've already accepted the loss. So I stayed in, and eventually it hit TP. And I was like, okay, good. Right. End the week, undefeated, everything is nice. That's good. Everything is nice. And then like it hit me. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta go close out on the top step. That's where the funded challenge is. I gotta go close out on the top step. So I check and I go over and I look and I'm like, oh shit. Did I get stopped out? I don't see nothing. So I look up and the P&L says 0. So I'm like, hold on. And then I realized I didn't enter on the funded challenge. I only entered on the personal. So I'm like, ah, shit. I fucked up the execution. I was supposed to be on point to execute both of the trades at the same time, or at least as closely together as possible so that I get the same entrance. But I only took it on the personal, and at that point I was like, okay, now that opens up the opportunity for me to take another trade, which I would either take during that same session or later in the afternoon session. And obviously there's no afternoon session today. And at this point, I don't even think we had an hour, probably less than an hour before the market was gonna close. So like, okay, shit, I need to get something. And I took a buy, and I don't know what I saw. I don't remember what I saw. I probably didn't see shit. I don't know why I took it, but I did, and it wasn't even a setup. I took a buy, and it lost, and that was it. And what should have been an undefeated week, I ended up tacking a loss onto it. But the loss was only on the challenge account, so I'm not even really worried, because as far as a personal account, it's still undefeated week. So I started the year on a personal account with no losses. That's the complete opposite of what happened last year. So I'm not really complaining, but that's what happened. And it's funny because even though the trade that I took, that I lost, as soon as I was like 2 candles in, I was on the 5 minutes. As soon as I was like 2 candles in, which is like 10 minutes, I recognized like the position I was in. But I was like, bro, I don't want to just close this and just jump into it, I don't want to just like close my buys and just jump into sells. I feel like I'm gambling, and I feel like that's what kind of stopped me from doing it, because I didn't want to feel like I'm gambling. But after, I should have remembered on the spot, but after I remembered something that I read from I believe it's Best Loser Wins. The gist of it was basically being able to be in a losing position, or recognize that you're in a losing position, and close it. And if there's an opportunity to go the other way, you can close it and do just that. You know, sometimes you'll be in a position like, say for instance, a supply, and you get so married to the idea of the supply that even though buys are screaming in your face, you can't see it. And that's something that I was really good at last year, especially in the back end of last year. And I didn't do it how I was supposed to do it today, which is annoying. And the crazy thing about it is that like the setup that I took that lost, I still don't know why I took it, but it wasn't really a setup. I don't know why I took it, but the candles that printed while I was losing, formed a setup. And I was mad because I was like, bro, I know that this is where I should be taking it. This is what I should be taking. But I'm already in this shit. I've already lost and I don't want to chase. And so I didn't. But that's frustrating. I recognized it and I acknowledged it. So hopefully next week that doesn't happen again, because I'm done for the week. NFP tomorrow. We don't trade NFP, so 1, 2, 3. We were 3-1 this week. Not too bad. It was a good week, I must say. That's good. And we're just getting started. Hopefully this can be a trend, because even though I won all the trades basically on my live account, the risk on all those wins were reduced. What I'm getting at is, on a regular week where maybe I would have like say 1, 2, and then lost 1, and I took like full positions, I would be getting like similar or more of what I made. So I mean, there's potential here, so we just gotta keep going.